Not for me, not for me.
Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today's live stream, this nightly live stream that we got for tonight's live stream, we're gonna take a look at the price of Bitcoin and show you why I am concerned about Bitcoin having an upcoming crash here soon. Okay, could happen this week, this month, maybe next month, but the price of Bitcoin is showing some worrying signs. I'm going to show you guys the bearish case for Bitcoin, why you might hear some people talking bearish about Bitcoin and crypto. And I'm going to show you why they might be right. Okay? And then I'm going to show you what needs to be done to prove them wrong. Okay? All right. But yeah, let's get started here with the price of Bitcoin. Currently trading at $115,354 today. We're only up. We're not up. We're down 0.03%. Only down 50 bucks here. We have an indecision candle on the daily chart. But right now I'm looking at the weekly chart here for Bitcoin. And what I see here is, yeah, Bitcoin has made some higher highs, okay? That's how we got up to this $115,000 price. You know, we had a high here back in March of 2024 where we got up to like $73,000, okay? New all-time high for Bitcoin at that time, okay? Bitcoin was at $69,000 back in 2021, okay? Then here in December of 2024, we saw $100,000 Bitcoin for the first time, and we actually got up to like $108,000. And then we also got up to $109,000 here in January of 2025. Now, Bitcoin, it has made some new all-time highs again here. You know, in August of 2025 here, we've seen Bitcoin get up to $123,700 here on Binance Exchange. This is data coming off of Binance. So you can see that we're clearly making higher highs here. However, we have this thing that's worrying me right now, okay? And that is on the RSI, we have lower highs being formed here on the weekly time frame. You know, these lower highs here and the higher highs on the price. You got lower highs on RSI, higher highs on price. That's bearish divergence, and it's showing up here on the weekly chart for Bitcoin. Okay, this means that Bitcoin is due for a correction. It's due for a crash at some point. This is what we saw going back in 2021 as well. Okay, where we saw, you know, lower highs here on the RSI, right? And we had higher highs on price on the weekly time frame here for Bitcoin. And we all know how that played out in 2021 going into 2022. We had a bear market in 2022. Could we get a bear market here for 2026 here for Bitcoin? It's looking like that could be a possibility here on the charts. Okay. Another thing that I want to show you guys that's also worrying me here with Bitcoin is the market cipher B. Okay. On the weekly time frame, you got a red dot that got printed here. Let me just zoom in here. You can see the chart itself. You know, looking right here on August 18th of 2025, you got a red dot that got printed. Means that Bitcoin's more likely to go down rather than go up. Okay. We had a green dot in April, and we know that the price went up going into May, June, July, and August. But here we have a red dot saying that the time is coming for Bitcoin to get a correction here soon. Okay, last time you had a red dot here on Market Cipher B was the last week of December of 2024. And sure, you had the price of Bitcoin go up a little bit higher in January, but then we all know what happened in February, March, and April, right? We dropped down in price. Let me just show you here on the charts here. Let me try to bring this up top so you can see that here. But yeah, Market Cipher B, right? Last time we had a red dot was December of 2024. And sure, yeah, we did go up in January. We made a new all-time high in January. But that didn't really matter because the price of Bitcoin continued falling down the weeks of February and March going into April. And it wasn't until April that you got that green buy dot to come save your butt here on Bitcoin, and then we got up to higher prices here. So, you know, with that being said, yeah, we had a red dot here in August, right after Bitcoin made a new all-time high at 123K. However, the time is ticking. Your time is getting short here. You could see Bitcoin make a new all-time high. I'm not saying that it won't, okay? You can see Bitcoin probably go up to like $130,000, $140,000. But that might be the very end of this Bitcoin cycle, this bull run here in Bitcoin. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm giving the bearish case. This is what the bears are saying. And the longer that Bitcoin like trots around at 115K or lower, the more it gives credence that the bears might actually be right here. Okay, now I'm going to zoom into the daily time frame so you can see what else is worrying me here with Bitcoin. Okay, these are the signs that are worrying me with Bitcoin. I show you the weekly time frame here. I show you the red dot that printed on Market Cipher B, and I showed you guys I showed you guys here the bearish divergence that was printed on the RSI, right, where we have lower highs here on the RSI, but we have higher highs on price. That usually means that the price it's going to have a hard time going up, more likely to go down, and could possibly go sideways in the meantime. Okay. All right. Now let's getting into the daily time frame here for Bitcoin. Okay. Let me just close these things out here. Okay. So with the daily time frame, and I did this on my live stream earlier this afternoon, and I'm going to do it here for you guys as well. But on the daily time frame, we saw Bitcoin top out on August 14th at 123. I think Coinbase Exchange got up to like 124K. This is data coming off of Binance Exchange. They only got up to like 123,731. And then, on the daily time frame here, we obviously made a lower low here. Then we made a lower high on August 22nd, where we got to like $117,350 on Bitcoin. And then we came down and we made another lower low compared to the lows here and the lows here. And now we possibly could be making a lower high all over again here for Bitcoin. Bitcoin needs to actually go up, and it needs to do it now. Okay? It needs to do it now going into tomorrow and Wednesday for the FOMC meeting, the Federal Reserve meeting. Bitcoin needs to go up, and it needs to get above, just all it needs to do is get above 117,350. Okay? Like we saw back here on August 22nd. And I can be happy. I can be more bullish on Bitcoin. But staying below 117,300 or 117,400 on some exchanges here, that's just not going to cut the mustard here. Okay? Bitcoin needs to get up there now. Okay? I'm not being emotional. I'm just showing you guys here, like, this is some serious business here, because if Bitcoin isn't able to get up to 117,350 or 400, whatever you see on your exchange here, then this is a lower high. And then this also here was a lower high on Friday, where we only got up to like 116,793. And then also this is another lower high here on Monday, today, September 15th, where we only seen Bitcoin go up to 116,777. Okay, so you got lower high, lower high, lower high. What's next? Do we make another lower low? And then do we confirm that we're in a downtrend on Bitcoin? Possibly. It's not looking so good. But if Bitcoin does go to lower prices, I mean, then we gotta see, what are the support levels here? Okay, using the moving averages as support, 112.7K is the 50-day moving average, that green line there. All right, maybe we get a bounce off of there. Okay, I can still remain bullish because we are above the 50-day moving average, so that is good to see. Okay, but if we start losing that, then we got the 100-day moving average at 108,900. If we lose that, then we got the 200-day moving average at $102,700. And if we lose that, it's game over. I'm going to call it game over on this bull run, okay? Because this is not going to get anybody excited to see Bitcoin go to 200K if we come right back down to 102K or go below that, okay? If we go below that, the case for Bitcoin going to 200K or higher, it starts to get further and further away, and people start to lose faith in Bitcoin and crypto, okay? But even 200K, that's still not enough, for Bitcoin at 115K, right? I know some people want to put their money in Bitcoin, and they're thinking that it's possible for it to double, but you need to see Bitcoin get to $230,000 in order for you to double in price. Now, because Bitcoin's so high, and it might be late to the game right now, you can understand why some of these altcoins are going up in price. Okay, and we did get like a little bit of run up here on this weekend for some of the altcoins here, because people starting to realize that, you know, they might have came in a little bit too late for Bitcoin. In order for them to double their money on Bitcoin, if that's what they're trying to do, they need Bitcoin to go to 230K, and that's kind of like a tall order for Bitcoin. Okay, but you know, they could get into the altcoins like Sui, like Solana, and maybe those might double in price. They can get into like AVAX or Cardano, Chainlink. That might double in price. Okay, more so than Bitcoin. So now I can understand why some people are getting into altcoins rather than Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin starts dropping down on us and making lower highs and lower lows, then the altcoins are not going to get their altcoin season that we're all waiting for. All right. Let me see. I'm doing a live stream here on TikTok and YouTube, and it looks like TikTok is giving me some issues here. Let me just try to fix this right here real quick. All right. So we got BZZ in the chat asking about Injective. And let's see, I'm just going to try to catch up on the live chat here, see what you guys have to say for your requests here. Benjamin's asking, what is that trend line? That trend line that I drew was just connecting the highs here on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin making higher highs on the chart. That's an uptrend on the highs here. But what I was really trying to show for the chart was the bearish divergence that we're seeing here for Bitcoin. Okay, and you'll see here, you know, if I can get this thing to show up on the RSI, that we are making higher highs on price, but we're making lower highs on the RSI. And that's bearish divergence. And the bears have been talking about this for like almost like a year now. But this rally is getting long in the tooth. And it wasn't just the weekly bearish divergence that got me a little bit worried about Bitcoin. Also on the Market Cipher B indicator. Okay, this indicator on the weekly time frame, we got that red dot that showed up. That's concerning me. This is concerning me. It actually concerned me 2 weeks ago when I first saw it show up in the charts here. I think, actually no, it showed up like 3 weeks ago. But I also understand that the price of Bitcoin can still go up in the meantime. However, the only way for us to cancel this out is we need to get a green dot immediately, like right now. And we need to see an exponential price up, explosive move up in price for Bitcoin. In order for me to become more bullish and negate this bearishness that we're seeing on the charts here. If we do get an exponential move up, I am going to show you one more indicator here that could show Bitcoin possibly could get up to like 180, maybe 200K here. And that's the Pi cycle top indicator here on the daily time frame. All right, let me just give us the other moving averages here. But the orange line, if this orange line catches up to the green line, then that should be the top for Bitcoin. If the Pi cycle indicator is going to come into play, we actually do need to see an exponential move up to higher prices, because right now that green line's at $193,000 Bitcoin. It's saying that you won't get a top on Bitcoin unless the price actually gets up to 190K, at least right now. Like, it would need to do that like today, and then we could say, yeah, Bitcoin topped out today. Okay. However, this Pi cycle indicator has not been triggered. It won't get triggered until the orange line catches up to the green line, and we actually need to see the price of Bitcoin start moving up exponentially to try and catch up to that green line. Because as the price does creep up to higher prices here, that green line is also going to be going up to higher prices, and then you might see this green line go into 200K or 210K or 220K, and that just means that the price needs to actually get up to that level so that way the orange line can kind of catch up with it. And if they touch each other, then that's the top of Bitcoin. Okay, but I'm not sure if the Pi cycle indicator is going to actually play out for this cycle. I mean, it has played out before in 2021. We saw the orange line catch up to the green line, and that was the top right there, or it should have been the top in April of 2021. we had kind of like a little bit of a fluke here where we actually made a higher high than we did in April. We made a new all-time high in November of 2021 at that time. But you can see that, you know, the price and the orange line, the green line, they diverged away from each other. The orange line started dropping like a rock, and so did the price of Bitcoin. And then the green line had to catch up to going down to lower prices as well. Okay, but this pi cycle indicator might be the only saving grace that says that we could still be bullish on Bitcoin. All right, as well as going into the moving averages. As long as we're above the 200-day moving average, that red line, I can still be bullish on Bitcoin. And I can still be, you know, overly bullish on Bitcoin as long as we're above that 50-day moving average, that green line at 112,700. Anyways, let me try to get into some of these requests here. We have Injective as a request. I will try to take a look at that for you. Alright. And then what else we got here? Arc Advertising says that the green dot will come in on Thursday. For the daily time frame or the weekly time frame? On the daily time frame, we already had a green dot. We had a green dot that came in last Tuesday. Actually, no, was that last Tuesday? This green dot came in a couple of weeks ago, actually. So we've already had the green dot. We're waiting for a red dot on the daily time frame here. But on the weekly time frame, that green dot, I mean, it would be nice if we got that green dot right now on the weekly time frame. But the red dot showed up in August, and that was like the warning signal, the first warning signal that this bull run might be coming to an end here on Bitcoin. Guys, let me turn on my air conditioner on here real quick because I'm getting a little bit hot over here. So just bear with me for like not even like 10 seconds, okay? Okay, back with you guys. So I guess we got Injective to look at here next. And then let's see, my YouTube guys, if you guys have any requests, go ahead and put those requests in. We're gonna move off of Bitcoin and start looking at some other charts here. But Injective, I haven't heard of that one. Haven't had anybody request that in a while. Get rid of this for now. Don't want to get on. No, I don't think I want to look at Mexi. Let's look at Injective on Binance. Anyway, we got the weekly time frame. All right, back into the daily chart here. Okay, so we got Injective currently trading at $13.51. And I'm just zooming out here. Injective was the hot ticket item to have back in like early of 2024. You know, we saw Injective, you know, as high as like 38, 40 bucks here. March of 2024, as high as like $48. So we have seen better days here for Injective. Injective's been in a downtrend ever since then, making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. But now we're starting to see some signs of life here for Injective, as we started making higher lows here, going back to like April 2025. And we also got above the 200-day moving average, this red line here. Okay, so that is good to see here for Injective. Where could Injective go? Right, making higher highs on the daily time frame. I want to see us make another higher high. You are making higher lows, so the next thing to do is to just make another higher high, higher than what you did here in August, where we saw Injective as high as like $16.56. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a Fibonacci here. We're gonna measure from the low here in June to the high here in August, and we'll see what the Fib has to say. All right, so looking at the Fibonacci, you do have 618 golden pocket at $13.69. You're actually below that right now. I do see some confluence near the 0.5 level at $12.79. That's kind of confluent with the 50-day moving average, which is at $12.97. Not exactly, but this probably could be an area where Injective needs to come down, make another higher low before it then sends itself up to higher prices here. And if we do go to higher prices, I mean, there is a 786 retracement at 1498 that could act as resistance. It acted as resistance back here on August 24th here, where we saw us get up to like $15.18. But then if we can get past the 786 retracement, then I think we could see $16 Injective all over again. Right? We got up to what, 1656, 1657. Yeah, we could see Injective get up to that price if, you know, if Bitcoin doesn't nosedive and crater on us. Okay. All right. If Bitcoin doesn't nosedive and crater and we get an altcoin season, you'll see $16 again for Injective, and then you might even see the 1272 at $18.70, or even a 1618 of $21.34 Injective. These are targets to be looking for, 18 and 21. That could happen in 2025 here if we actually do get an altcoin season going on. All right. Guys, I'm thinking about restarting my TikTok live stream because it's giving me some difficulties here. And they're not really recommending my live stream to people right now because of that. So I'm going to go ahead and just restart the live stream here on TikTok, guys. Just bear with me. I'm going to just restart it for you guys. All right. So I'm just over here, guys, fixing my live stream because TikTok is, I don't know, what do they say? What did they try to say here? Something about, yeah, I mean, I try to appeal it, but I'm just gonna redo it again.
Black and white conservative.
Okay. Let's try that one more time here for TikTok. It can be pains in the butt sometimes. They're definitely a lot more restrictive than YouTube is. Oh, over here, taking a look at the Injective chart. Yeah, I think Injective's looking fine. Just don't go lower than what you did here on Monday, September 1st, where you got down to like $12.13. I think you'll be all right for Injective. Okay, don't go lower than $12.13. Try to make another higher low here, and then I want to see a higher high. Right now, you could call this $14.87 high here on September 13th. You could call that a lower high if you don't end up going to higher prices here. So I want to see this end up being a higher low. I want to see us reverse and start going up to higher prices literally right now for Injective. Let's take a look at Bitcoin one more time here. I can't really remember what Bitcoin was at when I first started the live stream. I guess I can look at the 1 hour chart, see if we got a red candle or a green candle. We got a red candle here. So Bitcoin is dropping down in price as I'm going live right now. Sticking to the 1 hour chart, if we were to go down to lower prices, like right now, if you guys are day trading Bitcoin, the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame is sitting at 114k. Could be a good buy zone area. You got some support back here on Wednesday at that area. But man, if we go down to 114k on Bitcoin, it's just creating more lower lows on the 1 hour time frame, and then even on the daily time frame. I mean, have we gone down? Yeah, I think we did go down to like 100. Went down to like 114.3k, 114.3k here on Bitcoin. Yeah, earlier today. So we just had the daily candle close here on Bitcoin. closed about 30 minutes ago, and we had an indecision candle, okay, where we saw Bitcoin get as high as 116,800 and get as low as 114,395, and Bitcoin only went up $66 for the day. We actually got a green candle, believe it or not. It was looking red almost towards the end there, but we actually was able to push through for a green candle close here on Bitcoin. But now we're getting some red follow through here going into tonight, and yeah, if Bitcoin continues going to lower prices here, you don't have support until you get down to like 112,700, where that 50-day moving average is at. That's where you would think, you know, buyers and bidders would start showing up to try and buy some, what they're going to perceive to be some relatively cheaper Bitcoin. But if we continue going to lower prices, then this qualifies as a lower high compared to this lower high, and then of course the all-time high. So starts giving more credence to the bears out there that we have a possible bear market and the end of a bull rally here. Alright, let's see. I'm going back into live chat here for TikTok. Jesse says, how much we catching or how much we crashing? Okay. Jesse, so if we do crash here on Bitcoin, as I said earlier in the live stream, you know, we do have some support at 112,700. That's the 50-day moving average. And then we have the 100-day moving average at 109K. But then also, this could possibly be where the bulls make their last and final stand at $102,800 Bitcoin, which is where the 200-day moving average is sitting at. You would think, you know, everybody that bought here in June and May of earlier this year at 103, 105K Bitcoin, if they start clicking the sell button and they start panicking and thinking that they're not going to be able to see higher prices for Bitcoin, then yeah, you know, we'll lose the 200-day moving average and we'll come right down to probably this area right here initially at 94, 95K here. There's also, I believe, like a CME gap at 93K. Some people have said that needs to get filled, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bitcoin go to 93K to like 94, 95K here, where you had some people in May that might be able to provide some support. And then you also got some people here back here in February who are in profit right now, but they'll be back to break even, so they're not going to click the sell button. So I think 93, 94K is a good area for Bitcoin to get some support if we start losing these moving averages here. But, you know, if we start losing 93, 94K, oh my god, then what? Then there might be 80K to 74K. This area could provide some support. But yeah, that's the scary stuff for Bitcoin if it does drop. And of course, altcoins will be toast. They'll be cooked if Bitcoin drops below the 200-day moving average. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Let's see if we can get some more people to start showing up to the live stream here. If you can double tap your screen for TikTok and my YouTube, guys, if you hit that like button, let's try to get the likes to match the amount of people that are in the live stream right now. At the very least, let's try to do that. Alright. Let's look at some other cryptocurrencies here. I want to take a look at Sui and Pudgy Penguins if I can. Sui currently trading at $3.52. And we'll get the daily time frame here for Sui as I start zooming in. Looks like Sui is also creating the case for lower highs here, lower highs. Also, you got lower low, lower low. Okay, we needed Sui to get above the highs that it did here back on August 14th at $4.18. We need to see Sui get back up there to start making the case that you're making higher highs, but you're not. You're making lower highs. So this is a potential lower high here on Sui at that $3.82 level here. Now, what could cause Sui and cryptocurrency to go up higher in price? Well, if the Federal Reserve actually lowers interest rates on Wednesday, there's still a possibility that they won't. Just keep that in mind, guys. Okay, they could still say that inflation's a problem. They don't want to fan the flames and stoke the flames of inflation, and that would really cause some damage here to the markets, because I think the markets are anticipating a 25 basis point rate cut. But if they get the 25 basis point rate cut on Wednesday, and then the Federal Reserve starts forecasting that they're going to do some more rate cuts going into like next month and the end of this year, then that could probably be the saving grace to see, you know, SUI and the cryptocurrencies to go up to higher prices here. But if they don't give us good guidance and give us an interest rate cut, then we could be done. We could be done here on this cryptocurrency altcoin season here. But anyways, again, back to SUI. If SUI does go to lower prices here, we do have some moving averages that can provide support at $3.41, which is confluent with that 0.5 retracement at $3.37. And then we also got the 200-day moving average right below us at $3.16, which is confluent with the 0.382 level. So there are some levels to be looking out for, mainly right here, 0.5 and the 0.382, $3.37 and $3.11 for SUI. Okay, now if SUI is actually going to get its act together here and actually go to higher prices, I still see SUI could possibly get some resistance at $3.98, which is a level where we have some candle body closes at that level. So it doesn't surprise me that $4 could be a resistance for SUI. And then of course, you know, we'll see if SUI can get back up to $4.44 like it did here on July 28th. And then of course, you know, maybe later on in 2025, if we get an altcoin season and the Fed is lowering interest rates, we might see the 1618 at $5.78 for SUI. Alright, let me, so I just gave you guys the upside targets. $5.78 for SUI. Right now I just want to see SUI get back up to like $4. Let's get to like $4, show that we're actually making higher highs here on SUI. Alright, moving on from SUI, let's take a look at one of the popular meme coins in 2025. And that would be Pudgy Penguins. Currently trading at 3 cents. 0.032 pennies to be exact. And Pudgy Penguins. I also have a Fibonacci for Pudgy Penguins, and I measured that from like the levels that Pudgy Penguins was at in the beginning of July, when we saw Pudgy Penguin at $0.015, and I measured to the top here at 0.047 pennies here, roughly, where Pudgy Penguin topped out in July of 2025. And Pudgy Penguin's been making lower highs as well, so Pudgy Penguin's not out of it either. Okay. However, I do think we did make a higher high than we did here in August. Right? We came up to $3.80. Oh, I'm sorry, not 3 pennies, almost 4 pennies. We came up to like 0.038 pennies on Friday. And the last high on August 22nd was at 0.037 pennies, so technically a higher high than what you did here in August, late August. So good to see that with Pudgy Penguins. Now all Pudgy Penguins needs to do is just make a higher low. Make a higher low, and then we can then see Pudgy Penguins probably start reaching for higher highs again. If we do see higher highs for Pudgy Penguins, we're looking at maybe Pudgy Penguins getting up to like 4 cents. That's the level for us to look out for on Pudgy Penguins. That's the 786 retracement level there. Do that, and then we can try to make a case for Pudgy Penguins getting up to 5 pennies. And we do have a 1272 saying that Pudgy Penguins get up to like 5.5 pennies, and we have a 1618 saying that Pudgy Penguins could get up to like 6.5 pennies. Hey, Trade Intuition's in the chat. Good to see you, Trade Intuition. How you doing? Doing a night stream, bonus live stream. Doing 2 live streams in one day. I actually got the energy to do it. And I know Rich, you know, Rich Sandsberg said that if I did a live stream at night, he would show up. So I'm just waiting to see if Rich actually shows up or not. But I'm glad that you did. And yeah, I think I can give out a shout out to you. Sure, why not? Let's take a look at Trade Intuition's channel here, guys. So this channel is my channel, Meet Damien on YouTube, where you can see almost all my content here. But I want to show you guys Trade Intuition's channel here. Got a few more people on YouTube than I do. like to catch up to him if I can. He's got 2,300 subscribers. And Trade Intuition, he goes live Monday through Fridays at 12 p.m. to, I think 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern time, and Saturdays and Sundays at 4 p.m. And he can give you the good alpha on some of these coins as well. Recently, he did some videos here on Dogecoin, and he did a video about the Fibonacci retracement about a couple of weeks ago. And he goes live almost every day, and he does some shorts here, teaching you guys how to read the candlestick patterns, what is an aggressive and safe entry on your trades. So yeah, definitely gotta check him out if you get a chance, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well for Trade Intuition, another good YouTuber that's in the crypto space. All right, so yeah, we're just looking at Pudgy Penguins. I gave you upside targets. I don't think I really covered downside target. Downside target would probably be the 21 EMA, which is right next to the 0.5 retracement, sitting at 3 pennies. That could provide some support, and you got some candle body closes here at that level as well. So that's the level to look for if Pudgy Penguins does come down to lower prices. You could get a bounce there, make a higher low, and then you go up to higher prices, hopefully. But yeah, Trade Intuition, I titled the video that the crash could be coming for Bitcoin. And I was talking about how I saw on the divergence, weekly divergence for Bitcoin, but also I saw a red dot show up for Bitcoin on MarketCypher-B. Let me look at the Binance chart, where I got a little bit less clutter on that chart. Obviously, zooming out here on Bitcoin has been in an uptrend, and we know that it's been making higher highs as we go on up to higher prices, and we see Bitcoin get up to 115K, right? But looking at the weekly time frame, we do have bearish divergence, and the bears have been talking about this for a while, and it does take some time for bearish divergence to play out. But this is a warning sign for anybody that follows TA and follows like what's going on with divergences on the RSI and the price. You have lower highs here on the RSI, but you have higher highs on the price. Now, granted, you made a lower high here in December of 2024, and Bitcoin still went up to higher prices. It did come down, but then it went up to make a new all-time high in August. However, that was weak sauce here. The RSI was only like 69, barely, not even overbought, okay, on the weekly time frame here. Now, granted, we could still probably go up to higher prices. We could see Bitcoin get up to 130, 140K, and it just might be another lower high on the weekly time frame, and then we crash down on Bitcoin. But that is a warning sign, okay? What would invalidate this is if we actually make a higher high than what we did here in August. If we make a higher high, then it invalidates the bearish divergence that we're seeing on the weekly time frame. But so far, that hasn't happened yet. And then also here on MarketCypher-B, I did see the red dot that showed up on the weekly time frame here on August 18th. Last time we had a red dot was last week of December of 2024. And yeah, granted, Bitcoin did go to make a new all-time high in the next month in January, where we sold like $109,000 Bitcoin. But then we know what happened in February, March, and April, right? And it wasn't until April that you got that green buy dot to come save your butt and send Bitcoin up to higher prices here. Okay, so this is what's concerning me, this red dot. You would have to immediately see a green dot. And that is possible, because we have seen, like red dot right here in March of 2023. And then like a week later, we had a green dot to come save our butts and send us up to higher prices. But that doesn't happen all the time. Usually it goes red dot, then you wait a few more weeks, and then you get a green dot, and then you get to wait a few more weeks, and then you get a red dot. And lately we've been having like green dot, wait a few more months, and then you get a red dot. Wait a few more months, then you get a green dot. Then wait a few more months, and then you get a red dot. So like what? Then we have to wait a few more months, and Bitcoin drops down like 50% from where it is right now, and then we get a green dot? I don't know. That's why I say, you know, it's this is some worrying stuff to see here with Bitcoin. We need Bitcoin to exponentially go up to higher prices, like literally right now. Okay. However, the thing that is a little bit confusing though is that the stochastic RSI on Bitcoin, right, on the weekly time frame. Let me just show this chart to you real quick. The stochastic RSI is low, and yet we are close to all-time highs. Last time the stochastic was like this low was February, after we already started dropping down in price. But I mean, stochastic RSI could stay low, and if it does stay low on the weekly time frame, then yeah, maybe we do drag our butts down to like 94, 95K on Bitcoin. And then what does that do to your altcoins? That's gonna hurt the altcoins, right? So that's why I'm saying, you know, you guys gotta start planning your exit strategies and start placing your stop losses. You know, right now in the weekly time frame, you could put your stop loss on Bitcoin below the lows here on the first week of September, where Bitcoin got down to 107K. Maybe you put your stop loss at 107, 106K, because if we start coming down to that level, this starts to look more like a lower high for Bitcoin. And then what could be next? A lower low? I don't know. Gotta be careful out here with Bitcoin. So, anyways, yeah, that's what I see here on the charts for Bitcoin. That's, you know, I'm not trying to. I mean, I guess it is kind of clickbait. I did get you guys to actually show up to the live stream, but I do have the case here that there is a bearish case for Bitcoin, and it's getting louder and stronger, especially on the daily time frame when Bitcoin made these lower highs. Like, I need to see Bitcoin get up to 117,351, somewhere in that area, for me to not be concerned about Bitcoin making a lower high here, because then you can say that you are making higher highs on Bitcoin. But you know, we went to 117.3K on August 22nd, and then we made another lower high here on Friday, this past Friday, and then we even made another lower high here on Monday at 116,777. So that is not what you want to see if you're going to be bullish on Bitcoin. All right. So what's going on here? My TikTok live stream. All right, we have one guy here asking about BOMO. You want to take a look at BOMO? All right, so I guess we'll take a look at BOMO as the next request here, and then I want to take a look at let's see, we did Pudgy Penguins and Sui. I want to see if I can get in some live trades, guys. What coin is out there that you would like to live trade right now? Is there a coin out there that you think might be worth doing a long or short on? I mean, let me know, Joe, what you think for a long or a short tonight. Like, what coins are you guys trying to trade tonight? And I see my buddy Rich is here, and I see MG Motorsport. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Rich, you actually came in. I'm a little curious, Rich. I don't see you on the afternoon streams. Is that because you're working or doing something else? I'm assuming that you're working. But I'm glad to see that you made it to the night live stream. You said you were gonna show up to the night live stream, and here you are. I appreciate you coming out, buddy. All right. And then of course, if you want to talk about aliens, we can talk about aliens too. Joe wants to look at Chainlink, okay? And you're looking for a small pullback on height, and then you want to go long, but Bitcoin's at your resistance. Yeah, Bitcoin's kind of like making things confusing for some of us here. I want to see Bitcoin get up to 117K. Like, it needs to do that sooner rather than later. But let's look at BOMO first, because my TikTok guy made a request for that. BOMO. Actually, BOMO on... Yeah, Mexi, why not? Yeah, Mexi Exchange. Okay, so BOMO looks like it's a relatively new coin here. It's started trading July 22nd. Don't really have many moving averages here besides the 21 EMA, that white line. And that's because this is a brand spanking new coin. I bet you if I went to the 4 hour or the 1 hour, I might start getting some more moving averages showing up here. And I might do that, but just looking at this right now, I mean, I can measure right now, swing low, swing high, right? And I can do a Fibonacci for you. Measuring from here, where's my Fibonacci? Alright, there we go. Alright, so Fibonacci, what do we see here for BOMO? BOMO could come down to that 0.236 level at 0.0078 pennies here. Did we actually come down there on Monday? We came as low as like 0.0082 pennies. Almost touched the 236 retracement. But I also see a lot of support here at like roughly 0.009 pennies for BOMO. Okay, you got a lot of sideways trading action here. This should have been a support zone. We're kind of at that. We're a little bit above that support zone, so that's good to see. So you would think that this, anybody that bought here is gonna just be at break even when you get down to 0.009 pennies here. They're not gonna click the sell button unless you lose 0.009 to start getting down to like these lower levels here at like 0.007 or 0.008. Okay, so you could be catching possibly a higher low here on BOMO, and then seeing this thing go up to higher prices. And if it does go to higher prices, you would expect this thing to at least get back up to the 618 as a normal retracement level for it to try to reclaim. And that's going to be about a penny and a half, about 0.016 pennies or 0.017 pennies, somewhere in this area. That's your first take profit target. And then second take profit target probably be the 786. You should take profit at that level. There's no guarantee that you're going to get up to like 2.5 pennies all over again, but that is the high water mark here for BOMO. And if you are able to push past that level, then you got the 1272 saying that 3 pennies could be next, or even 4 pennies as your 1618. And I think that's going to be it in a nutshell here. I'm just out of curiosity. I just want to see if the 4-hour time frame is showing anything here with moving averages. Ooh, you lost your 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. Let's see what the 1-hour time frame looks like. And you also lost all your moving averages on the 1-hour time frame. So I don't know. I mean, you're basically playing off the fib right now. You're trying to catch the low here near the deep retracement at 0.236, and you're just hoping that, you know, that these are the lows for now. And you would want a nice V-shaped recovery, try and validate and get some people caught off guard and get a little bit of a fear of missing out as to buying the lows here. But if you don't get a if you don't get the V-shaped recovery, then what you'll probably end up getting is just something like this, where you kind of go sideways, range bound, maybe start making some higher lows and then start making some higher highs again. But we'll see. That's BOMO in a nutshell. Let's take a look at Chainlink, and we'll take a look at Hyperliquid for trade intuition. All right. Let's see. I think I got Chainlink showing up here. So Joe, are you trying to long or are you trying to short Chainlink? Just out of curiosity, give me some ideas like how I should do this. I'm gonna go into the daily time frame. I can tell you that I can be bullish on Chainlink because you are above the 200-day moving average, which is well below you. 50-day moving average is also below you as well, so you are bullish on Chainlink. I would be looking for a longs for a a swing trade or a longer term trade, but we can always go into the smaller time frames to see if there's a possible short opportunity. But right now, the 50-day moving average is sitting at $18.62. Looks like that will be your possible that could be where Chainlink goes and actually gets support if it does drop down to that price, because by the time this thing drops down, unless it drops down immediately down to that level, I think it will come down to $19, and that by that point the 50-day moving average will creep up a little bit higher, and you'll get some confluence, and you know, the Fibonacci traders and also the moving average guys, they'll all agree that $19 is where we should probably buy some Chainlink. Okay. But as of now, just zooming in a little bit more, if Chainlink does go to lower prices, you are looking to see if it does get a bounce off of $21, your golden pocket level, which would confuse the guys who only use moving averages, because if you don't know how to use a Fibonacci, then you're not going to know like that there's a possibility that this thing could get a bounce at 21 bucks. But that's what the Fibonacci is showing. There could be a bounce right here at $21 or $22, somewhere in that area. Could get a reaction, go up to higher prices, and then revisit the $24 level here at that 786 retracement. But yeah, let me get it back here in the chat with Joe, see what Joe's trying to do here. You are looking for a long on Link. You would like to see if it will pull back to the 0.5 retracement at $23.40. Okay, I think you might have drew your Fibonacci a little bit differently than I did. I just drew from the $27.80 level here on August 22nd, and I pulled, you know, from the top all the way down to about $10.31. Maybe you might have drew, you might have got your low here at on August 2nd. That might have been where you drew your fib. So let me just try to redraw my fib one more time, see if it matches up with what you're doing. And you said you're looking for the 0.5 retracement. It's at $23. So I redrew the fib in the same 0.5 at $21. But anyways, you're getting close to that $23 that you're looking for. If you drew the fib going the other way, maybe the 0.5 shows up going the other way. So if I drew from bottom to top, I still got the 0.5 at $21.82 here. And I got the 0.382 at $23. Alright, so I see that $23.28 number that you're looking for. But I drew it. I don't know, I drew it upside down or whatever. Anyways, you got your level you're looking for. And that $23 level doesn't really show up on my chart with the Fibonacci that I drew. But I think that's also a good level to be looking for along on Chainlink. And what would invalidate your trade, Joe? Would it be like if we go lose the lows here on September 6th, $21.87? Is that where would you put your stop loss? Just out of curiosity, if you're going to go long at that level, where are you going to put your stop loss? Joe, do you go top to bottom on your fibs or bottom to top? Let me just I'll draw it out from like this swing low to this swing high. I think that's how you got your Fibonacci. From there to there. All right. I see a 0.5 right now at $21.75. Somewhere in that area. Yeah. And was it that low right there at 1543? Around there. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. You go from bottom to the top when you're looking for a retracement? Interesting. Okay. So let me just try to draw it from that angle here. From bottom to top. Okay. 0.5 is now showing $21.70. But you said $23.94. Oh no, $23.94 was your 6-1 name. Oh, I'm looking at let's see. I got confused because I'm looking at something else here. You said about Bitcoin and Fibonacci at 0.5 level and 0.618 level. So you're looking for Fibonacci 0.5 level on Chainlink at $23.40. Yeah, I'm not sure where you pulled off your fib, but hey, why not? You know, I think you're almost at your level there, and then you said you're gonna put your stop loss at 23.81. Okay. And this is this a long or a short? You said you were trying to long it, right? All right, I see a couple of guys here that I always see on the live streams for Road Dog Crypto. I see Chris Klein and I see Ava Medina. Good to see you guys. Oh, and you're also doing it off the 15-minute chart? All right. Well, I guess that kind of changes things too. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the daily chart, but when you get into like the 15, the smaller time frames, then you start to see things that you don't normally see on the higher time frames, which is why it's good to get into smaller time frames. But yeah, I would have to see where you're drawing your fib and what swing low and what swing high you're using. I'm assuming you probably drew from the $21 here up to $27 here. But anyways, moving on from there, let's go ahead and take a look at Hyperliquid. Sure, let's do it. Which one do I want to use? Binance US? Sure. Daily time frame? Okay, here we go. And now I kind of have to dig through the chat to see what you said about Hyperliquid. You're looking to get a long. You're looking for a pullback on Hyperliquid, and then you want to long it. Okay. Well, I got Hyperliquid. We're using the chart off of Binance US. I'm not sure if this is a good chart because I'm pretty sure there's more data than this on Hyperliquid. Let me get a different chart here. Hyperliquid on Mexi. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. More information here. Currently trading at $53.32, down 1.28% today. And Hyperliquid has been a beast of a crypto, obviously making higher lows and higher highs, kind of doing its own thing, kind of like similar to like Binance. It's just making higher highs and new all-time highs. This is one of the stronger cryptocurrencies for like 2025 here. Worth getting into, worth trying to buy the dip if you can. Okay. I'm already eyeballing like this $47 level without getting into too much TA. I think anywhere between like 43 and 47 is looking like a good area to start buying some Hyperliquid. The moving averages are saying that, you know, down here at the 21 EMA at $49.17, that's where you could get some support for Hyperliquid, but then even more powerful support would be this 50-day moving average that's showing up on the chart, this green line at $43.39. I would try to put in some buy orders, obviously not leverage trading, but I'd be looking for like just regular spot trading, you know, buying Hyperliquid at $43. And you'll basically be buying it for the same level that everybody else was buying it here in August and July, the last couple of months here. You would like to think that these people would just be back at break even and they're not going to click the sell button on you unless you lose, you know, 40 bucks here. Yeah, then Hyperliquid could lose this uptrend and give people a good scare if it loses $40. And if it loses like $40, you're actually violating the higher lows that you made here on Hyperliquid. So let me just try to draw this out. Obviously you got your higher lows here. You're on an uptrend. If you lose this uptrend, then I would be worried about Hyperliquid going down to lower prices here. But you could come down. all the way down to like 46 bucks, make a higher low, and then come up to higher prices here on Hyperliquid. So Joe, I'm not sure if you're trying to spot trade or if you're trying to do leverage trading, day trading. But if you're spot trading it, you could wait till like 46, 47 bucks, and you might get some cheaper Hyperliquid at that area if we maintain this uptrend. And then you can put your stop loss tight at like 44 bucks, and you're not really losing too much. But if we lose $44, then you know you're losing your uptrend as well. And yep, we could probably start going to lower prices, lower than 44 on Hyperliquid. Let's see, I kind of want to pull from here to here. I want to do a little fib, see what that gives us. So there's a 618 golden pocket at $50. Maybe that could be where you day trade and get into a nice leverage long on Hyperliquid. You're only like $3 away, but you might have to wait. You might have to be patient. You could try to front run it a little bit, maybe at like $51, put you right above that golden 6.5 retracement. And then you're gonna have to figure out how much you're willing to lose and how much leverage you're gonna use. But I would probably put the stop loss, you know, somewhere below 50 bucks if you're able to get in at like 50 or 51 bucks. But for your spot traders out there, like I said, the levels to be looking out for, $44. I said that earlier. I think Hyperliquid could get a reaction off of this area. That's also where that 50-day moving average is creeping up to. You would think you get some support somewhere in this level, somewhere, yeah, $44. Also, $47 is another level to be looking out for as well, because you could still come down to $47 and still make a higher low and start heading up to higher prices on Hyperliquid. And if you do head up to higher prices for the long term here, Hyperliquid does have a 1272 fib extension at $65, and then you got a 1618 saying this bad boy could get up to $73 maybe later on, just in time for Christmas. That would be like a nice little Christmas gift. Hyperliquid at $73. And I'm just catching up on the chat here. Rich says he's at work earlier, then he's eating dinner. You eating dinner right now? So you're just about to sit down for the day. All right. Glad you're taking the time to watch the live stream here, Rich. And then let me guess, after this live stream, you'll probably watch some videos on UFOs and aliens, and then you'll catch up on looking at Porky's live stream. And if Porky doesn't go live, then I guess it just means more UFO videos, right? Something like that. All right. I gotta catch up. There's so much chat going on. I appreciate you guys coming into the live chat. Good to see you too, Chris Klein. And I see Jake of All Trades is in the chat as well. Good to see you as well, Jake. Rich thinks we're going to be in limbo land until Wednesday's FOMC meeting. I think you might be right about that, Rich. But I want to see Bitcoin do some limbo land and start heading towards 117K while it's in limbo land. That'll make me feel a lot better about Bitcoin. Because right now I'm a little bit worried if we're not getting up past $117,400 on Bitcoin. You know, we might be in for some trouble the next couple of weeks here. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try to catch up on the live chat here with TikTok. What are you guys saying here on TikTok? Gada is asking for XRP. All right, Gada, I got you. We'll take a look at XRP, and I have a request here for ICP. I'm not sure if that guy's still around, but we'll look at XRP and ICP. All right, XRP currently trading at $2.99, hanging out that $3 level on the daily time frame here. That $3 level is not only a psychological number, but it is a Fibonacci level that I am looking at. The 618, currently trading at $2.99. Don't lose that level, because when you do lose that level, you see that we have gone down to the 0.5 retracement at $2.78. If we come down and we lose $3 here on XRP, I think that's the next level to watch out for, because you got some confluence here with the 50-day moving average sitting at $2.78. And you got the 0.5 at 278. So that's the next level if XRP goes down instead of going up here. All right, but if it does start catching some bids here, we're gonna see if XRP can get up to this blue level here, which is the 786 retracement at $3.28 here. This is a level where we also had a little bit of resistance in the middle of August. And then we'll see if XRP can get up to 366 like it did here in July. Okay, so I think there's still a 10% move up in XRP, and a possible 20% move up if we can just get back to where we were in July. And then upside targets past that, we have a 1272 saying $4.13 XRP, and then you got a 1618 at $4.74. And I'm not sure if we're actually going to see $6.50 XRP, but it is saying there is a 2618 at that level. And if XRP does get up to 650, then you should strongly consider clicking that sell button, because you basically doubled your money from where it is right now. Okay. So those are upside targets for XRP. And downside target, like I said, 278. We'll see how we hold up over there. You do not want to lose 278. But if you do, you got some other moving averages below you that could provide support at like 251 and 261. Chris Klein wants to look at Floki and Cardano. Okay. We gotta look at ICP after this one, and then we'll look at Floki. Gotcha. All right. Let's get into ICP. Internet computer. What is ICP doing these days? ICP currently trading at $4.67. And ICP has seen better days, like a lot of other coins, in December of 2024, when you're trading up as high as like 14-15 bucks, and then you lost almost like an 80% drop down in price. And now what is ICP doing? Well, I cannot be bullish on ICP because you're below the 200-day moving average. You're actually below all your moving averages. This is not good to see, okay? The only saving grace is that you could be making a higher low than what you did here on September 1st. You got down to like $4.58. Don't go lower than $4.58, because if you go lower than $4.58, then not only are you making lower highs, but you're also making lower lows if you lose $4.58, okay? You would need to start going up right now. Don't go any lower than what you did, on Monday, earlier today. Okay? You came down to 461. You could treat this as a double bottom if this is not going to go lower than where it is right now. But yeah, you are making higher lows, especially higher low than what you did here in June 22nd. But you lose 458. Then yeah, I see why not. Why can't you'll probably end up coming down to the lows here in June at 431, and do you want to stick around for that? Probably not. So I put my stop loss really tight right now, and you might be catching this double bottom possibly on ICP. Now, what are the upside targets? You got to fight through the moving averages above you. Okay, you get the 200-day, the 100-day, and the 50-day, all gonna act as bullies. They're gonna prevent you from going past $5.20, and the 200 is at $5.27. So 520 is going to be a problem area for ICP bulls. But if you can get above there, then you're going to probably get above the 200-day moving average, and then you got to start getting past the resistance here at these tops and the highs that you made back here in August, and the high that you made back here in July at like 625. So you got some work to do here for ICP, but I do see the risk reward situation is it's good, especially if you're gonna keep the stop loss tight. And let's just try to measure that out real quick here. Just getting back to the 200-day moving average, and if you put your stop loss tight around like 458, you're only risking 2%, but you're looking for a 13% gain, and you got a risk reward ratio of 5.89. Anything above 3 is great. Okay, 3 is what you're usually aiming for risk reward situations, so the risk reward is pretty good just getting back to the 200-day moving average. However, if you can get back up to like the highs here in August, which was only a month ago, you look at a risk reward ratio of about 13, and target is 29% above you, so you're risking 2% to try and get 29%. Very good risk reward ratio. Even though you're below the 200-day moving average, I can get behind this trade trying to long it right now. All right, I'm not sure if I'm able to long ICP with my leverage trading, but this is a very interesting opportunity. I would give you the thumbs up and the green light to actually try and make a long trade on this one. And as mainly because you're very low, you're catching possibly a double bottom here. Okay, and you can just put your stop loss really tight, not too far from where the current price is at right now. Donald says Solana to the moon. Yeah, hopefully Solana goes to the moon. I got my biggest spot bag is Solana, so I want to see Solana go to the moon. I can get behind that. Did you hear about this? There's a medical company. Let's see. I think I might have put it in my Discord. Let me check Discord here. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Gotta scroll all the way down to the bottom of Discord here. Oh, Trade Intuition put some pictures here. Okay, I'll have to check that out later. But there's a company called Helios. They just bought, or they're planning on buying $500 million worth of Solana as part of like a Solana treasury, and they're going to take the staking rewards from Solana, and they're going to move it. They're going to take that money that they're getting from staking, and they're going to pay off their investors in dividends and warrants. So that's pretty cool. So you got these companies that are now trying to buy Solana, just like there were companies like MicroStrategy was trying to buy Bitcoin, and you had Tom Lee and his company trying to buy Ethereum. Now you got companies that are looking to buy Solana as part of their treasury. They're trying to add it to their balance sheet. That's pretty cool. All right. So that's the good bit of news that I got there for Solana. Let's see. Let's look at the Floki. I think Floki is the Solana meme coin, right? Can someone like double check that for me? Is Floki a Solana meme coin, or is that on the Ethereum network? I can't really remember. But I think I remember it being Solana coin. If meme coins start becoming a thing again, then you'll start to see more money going into the Solana ecosystem as well. Just another reason why you should be in Solana, in my opinion. But you know, you can take my word with a grain of salt, because I actually do own a bunch of Solana, so I actually do want to see more people in Solana versus the other altcoins out there. But it's because I think it's one of the best cryptocurrencies out there, and it's going to be around to stay. And you get paid to hold Solana, like 5% interest, staking rewards. Anyways, we're looking at Floki right now, currently trading at 9,564. And Floki looks like it had a pretty significant high here in July, when you got up to like 15,777. And you made lower highs, did you get higher than this high here in August? We got up to like 11,107. And then let's see, here on Saturday we got to 11,097. So you're still making lower highs. Ugh. Come on. And of course you made lower lows here, but could this possibly be a higher low that's being formed near the 100-day moving average? 9,539 is where you're kind of hanging out at with Floki on that 100-day moving average. If we lose this, then maybe we have to come back to the 200-day all over again at 86.93. And if we do that, I mean, you can still qualify this as a double bottom if it does that. But you don't want to go any lower than 86.93, 8600. Because if you do, then you're still making lower lows, lower highs, and you're in a downtrend, and that's just not good. And Floki could go down to even lower prices than that. I'll probably put the stop loss right below the 200-day moving average. Hope you don't get hit, but if you do, you can save yourself a whole world of pain here on Floki. Where could Floki go if it does go to higher prices? Let's draw a Fibonacci and we'll see what the Fib extension level is looking like. So if Floki is going to be bullish and we get an altcoin season later on in 2025, you got a 1272 that says this thing can get up to like 18,449. That's basically like a double from where you are. So this thing could possibly double in price. And then you got the 1618 saying that this thing could get up to like 21,860. Nice. And I'll even throw some more fluff for you. You got a 2618 that says this thing can get up to like 31,738, but let's first try to get above what we did here on July. And just out of curiosity, has Floki been that high? 31,000? I think it has actually. Back here in June of 2024, we saw 30,000 Floki. 34,900 on Binance Exchange. So this 2618 target's not too far off, but you have to basically get back to where you were in 2024 on Floki. Mark is saying thoughts on BTCI, and then Kyle saying thoughts on MOG. Alright, so first of all, let me just make sure. We got Chris asked for Floki and Cardano. We're gonna look at Cardano first, and then BTCI. Is that a? Did you mean Bitcoin, or is that another cryptocurrency? What is BTCI, Mark? And then Tariq wants to look at Virtual's protocol. All right, Tariq. Let's see. I'm going to look at Virtuals first. Then I'll look at Cardano. We'll come back to Cardano. And then what else? Then we gotta look at some other ones here too. So Virtuals, Cardano. And then MOG. And what is this BTCI? I don't know what BTCI is, but I think you want to look at Bitcoin, but I don't know, just out of curiosity, is there a thing called BTCI here? The Bitcoin High Income ETF? That's interesting. Well, let me first look at Virtuals, and then we'll take a look at BTCI and Cardano and MOG. Alright, so let's look at Cardano first. I'm sorry, no, Virtuals. Virtuals currently trading at $1.22. I'm actually in a leverage long on Virtuals, so I would like to see this thing go up to higher prices too. That would be nice. Virtuals just hanging out near that 0.382 retracement at $1.24. If it loses this level, the next retracement level is at that 0.236 at 93 cents. That would hurt. because that would also put you lower than the lows here in September. You got as low as like $1 on virtuals, so you would think that should hold up. But if it doesn't, you got 93 cents. Could be a possibility here. You are below most of the moving averages except the 21 EMA. 21 EMA could act as support, and it kind of did actually here on September 15th. Well, that's today. And then also around here on September 11th. Very interesting. The 21 EMA acting as support. Now you got the 200 moving average acting as resistance at $1.31. We did get above it on Saturday to like $1.40, and also here on Sunday we got up to about $1.36. But yeah, I think you know, if you're gonna be bullish here on virtuals, you got to get above that 200-day moving average at $1.31, and then looks like you could get some resistance here at $1.50, which is your 0.5 retracement level there. And then you are trying to get back to the golden pocket at $1.75 here on virtuals. So virtuals got some work to do, but I think it can do it because it is part of the AI agent program where people can create their own AI agents using virtuals. So I think virtuals has the potential to go up to higher prices here, and if it does, I'm just aiming for that $1.75 level here for now. Would be nice if we can get up to that 786 retracement at 212, and then also get back to the highs here in May at like 258. Yeah, this is what I measured from the swing low here up to the swing high. You got these Fibonacci levels to look for virtuals, and I gave you the downside target and upside target. All right, moving on from virtuals, we'll take a look at Cardano, and then we'll look at Bitcoin with an I, that Bitcoin income ETF. All right, Cardano, what are you doing, Cardano? Cardano currently trading at 86 cents, up 0.23%. Well, yeah, today just started. The daily candle here just started about an hour ago for Cardano. But Cardano, what did Cardano do? I did measure Fibonacci from this 93 cent level here back in July down to the swing low here in June, and it gave us a 1272 Fib extension and a 786 retracement. Looks like we came down to the 786 retracement all over again one more time here for Cardano. That's about 85 cents. We came down to 85 cents earlier today. So you're hoping that this holds, you make a higher low, and then you come right back up to 93 cents. Could be some resistance there, and then you're trying to shoot for higher prices. You're trying to get up to that $1.04 level. Cardano has not been at, well, actually, no, I take that back. It has been at $1. It was like $1.01 on August 14th. So get past 93 cents, and then you could try to make a run for $1, and then you get the 1618 saying that $1.18 could be a possibility here for Cardano. Upside targets. The downside targets, if you don't hold 85 cents, we could come revisit the golden pocket at 78-79 cents. And that's going to put you right back where we got a nice bounce off of that level on September 1st. But this could end up being a double bottom before we end up going to higher prices on Cardano. Okay. But yeah, Cardano, I could be bullish because you are above the moving averages, almost all the moving averages. Yeah, you are above all the moving averages, even above the 21 EMA. So Cardano, be on the lookout for Cardano. You can be bullish on Cardano, in my opinion. All right, moving on from Cardano, we'll take a look at that Bitcoin income fund. Interesting enough, the NEOS Bitcoin High Income ETF. Currently trading at $60.95. This thing started trading in October of 2024 Alright, this is weird. Did it get delisted? I got data going from April, May, June, July. No, I'm just... This thing hasn't really done much. Alright. You're kind of trading at the same levels that you were trading at back in November of 2024 on this Bitcoin Income ETF. Obviously, you dropped down in price when Bitcoin dropped down in April. And then you kind of got up to some highs here in July and August. But, I mean, it's almost the same highs back here in December and January of last year. So, I don't think this is a money maker here. You might... I don't know what this thing does, but if it's paying dividends, it might be worth it. But this thing is not doing capital appreciation, I'll tell you that. But just looking at this thing, you are above the 50-day moving average. That's good to see. You're above the 200-day. 200-day is starting to show up that red line. So you're above the moving averages. You can be fine. As long as Bitcoin doesn't drop like a rock, you'll be fine. But it seems like when Bitcoin does drop like a rock, this thing does go down with it. And then when Bitcoin actually makes new all-time highs, it doesn't really... This thing doesn't make new all-time highs. So that's disconcerting in my opinion. Alright. I'm not sure what else I could do with this. I don't really want to do a Fibonacci. If you're still on the live stream, just ask me about this this asset here when Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, because I'm a little bit curious. If Bitcoin is making a new all-time high, does this thing actually make new all-time highs itself? Because right now the all-time high is back here in December of last year at $68. And we know that Bitcoin has gone to higher prices since then, and this thing wasn't able to make a new all-time high. So it's not really following the price of Bitcoin as close as it should be. Alright, moving on from that one, we'll take a look at MOG. Oh no, did Joe leave us? Joe says, good night everyone. Oh, good night Joe. Glad to see you come out to the live stream. I'll be going live again tomorrow afternoon, but you'll probably be doing the same thing on your live stream. So whoever ends their live stream first, you know, if I end first, I'll go to your stream. If you end first, come join me tomorrow afternoon, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright, let's look at MOG. So MOG currently trading so many zeros, 89. I'm just gonna say 89 for now. Alright, here we go. Much better. Run the daily time frame for MOG. I don't know if this Fibonacci is still useful, but I did measure from here to the highs here. Bless me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redraw this Fibonacci. This won't make any more sense. And I probably won't even do a Fibonacci. I'll do a VRVP instead for you. Okay. Alright, so MOG, what are we doing here? Okay. Making lower highs, lower lows. However, recently you bottom out here September 1st at 77. And then you got a high here on Saturday at 111. I guess I could do a fib from there if that's useful for you. Yeah, why not? I'll do a little fib for you. From here to here. You got a 618 golden pocket retracement at 98. That would be nice to see us get back up to that area. Right now you got you're just hanging out near the 0.382 at 90, and you got the 200-day moving average above you at 91. So get above the 200-day moving average, and I'll start to become bullish on this asset again. Right now you're playing around with fire, and you could get burned and go down to lower prices on MOG. But if you're you're day trading this, or even if you're spot trading it, you could put your stop loss maybe at like 85 or 86 here. I mean, that would take you down to the 0.236 level, but if you're trying to buy right now, thinking that you're catching the bottom, or at least a higher low here, then you could try to push this thing up back up to the 100-day moving average, sitting at 106, which is where that 76 retracement's at. And then you're gonna try to see if you can get up to higher prices here, obviously. But you could also just wait until you come down to the 0.236 level at 85 and maybe get some cheaper Mon coin there. But you said you already bought like a bunch of Mon coin. Well, if you're spot trading it and not leverage trading it, I would probably put the stop loss right over here at 81. This thing goes lower than 81. You're really playing with danger and you're playing with fire, and you probably don't want to stick around to find out how bad it could get. And you also don't want to go lower than this last low here on September 1st at 77. Okay, so maybe put the stop loss. If you really want to be conservative, stop loss at like 76, 75, somewhere in that area. And if you lose 76, 75, then it's probably game over on Monk. Okay, going to the downside. But upside targets for Mog, you got the 1618 saying this thing can get up to 132. And then you get the 2618 saying this could get up to 166. And we have seen 166 back here in July, so that's a possibility. But yeah, I don't know. I think you get some more cheaper Mog at 85 here. And then I'll probably put the stop loss at 70, 75. Duality C is in the chat. What are you doing, Duality C? Glad to see you guys come into the live stream. I'll probably end the live stream right before Road Dog goes on. And then we can all say hi to Road Dog over there. But good to see you guys here. Let me go give a shout out to Road Dog. Another good crypto YouTuber. If you guys enjoy coming and watching some TA at nighttime, there is a nighttime YouTube streamer. His name is Road Dog Crypto. He has some good TA. He does the Fibonacci just like I do. He does moving average, 5 moving average just like me. And he has really great thumbnails, in my opinion, on his live streams. So I'll let you figure that out. But yeah, his live streams, very entertaining. Let me just click on one of his live streams here. But you'll see him. He's the turkey guy.
Was our major Fibonacci. That's the last hit, and looking forward to come up and retest that 9.
But yeah, that's Road Dog and his TA, his crypto channel. Go ahead and check him out. Give him a subscribe. Let's see if we can get Road Dog up to 2,000 subscribers here. He obviously has been putting in the work. He has over 1,300 videos on YouTube. Goes live almost every day. Every night, I should say. He's a late night live stream guy. Late nights with Road Dog. Alright. Jake says he loves Road Dog. Yeah, I love Road Dog's streams too. He has great thumbnails, as you already know. Great music too. I love his music. Even better than the music that I play. And he has great TA. What's there not to love? And he's funny. He's got his little turkey head. But one thing about Road Dog though, he does educate you. He does get into like lecture or teacher mode. Takes him a little bit of time for him to get to your requests. He is fast with it with you know, the super chats. But I don't know. That's just the way he runs his live stream. But if you're looking to get, you know, your requests answered right away, you might have to wait while you're watching Road Dog's live stream. But I think he is trying to be better about it by jumping into the live chat and looking to see who who put in the request, and he does get the request eventually, but that's one thing that I noticed about Road Dogg. Great guy, great TA. You kind of have to, you know, you're gonna have to wait until you get the great TA from him. So if all right, so Colorado Rugby, what are you saying here on TikTok? So if you sell MOG, so you just put a stop loss at 79, so you don't lose anymore. Still kind of new, is what you're saying. Yeah, you don't want to risk too much. Like right now, you know, MOG is at 90. Let's just measure this out real quick here. You're at 90. If you put your stop loss at, you said 79, you're risking another 11%. Can you handle losing 11%? If you can, then, you know, hopefully your stop loss doesn't get triggered. But if you can't handle 11%, then yeah, you should put your stop loss at 79. Because how much more do you want to lose? If you go lower than 79, then like here at like 75, I said 75 for a conservative stop loss, you're going to lose about 15-16% of your money, and hoping that you don't get stomped out. But if you get stopped out here, I would not try to get back in, because there's something wrong with this asset if it's not able to hold what it did here in September. Okay. And you might, you know, if you are going to get back in, I will wait until even lower prices. Like back here in April, this thing was trading at 25. Yikes. So if we go down to 25, that's almost like a... Oh, I'll measure it out right here. If we go down to 25, we go down to the lows in April, that's a 71% drop. You're going to feel like you lost all your money at that point. So yeah, I'll put the stop loss. You said 79. 79 doesn't seem so bad. You only lose about 11%. And if you put it down at like 75, you're gonna lose about like 16%. Chris Klein says Road Dogg Crypto is like your home channel. You feel like you're at home with him, huh? Yeah, I know Road Dogg usually he's pretty good about it. He usually goes live at like 10:30. 10:30 p.m. Eastern time is when I see him go live. Or like, I know that if I look for his live stream at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, I'm gonna see Road Dogg, you know, starting up his live stream around that time. So I was looking to get into a live trade. I'm not sure what crypto I want to get into for a long. I'm trying to long if I can. I like to get into Pudgy Penguin if I can. But does it make sense? Does it make sense? I know Pudgy Penguin will run up if things do go to higher prices. But Pudgy Penguin could come down to like 3 cents. Like there could still be more pain. And I don't know if there's any more support here. Aerodrome was having a good day today. Aerodrome went up like 8%, almost 9%, while the market was going down. And now it's kind of like chilling out near the 618 at $1.26. Chronos was looking. I was eyeballing Chronos, but you know, Chronos is still in a downtrend. Stochastics is very low on Chronos. Hey, not that. Stochastics are very low on Chronos right now, but that doesn't mean that it can't stay low. I guess I'm going to wait until the green buy dot shows up on Chronos before I would actually take a long on it. RSI, relatively low, but it could always go lower. So yeah, Chronos is just doing a long bleed down, and it might have to come down to 0.236 at 21 cents before we get some bullish price action here. So I'm currently in a long on virtual. Let me see what virtual is doing right now. I am currently up $33 in profit on my long on virtual. I have a 20x long. I got in this morning while everybody was panicking. I got in at like $1.19. Right now we're at $1.21, so nothing too crazy, but it's still profit. Profit's profit, right? But I don't think I actually moved my stop loss. Let's see, how low did we get down to in on virtuals? We're looking at virtuals protocol. Oh, and this is Sui. I gotta get into virtuals. Where is virtuals? Virtual. Hold that bad boy up. Yeah, so here we are on the 1 hour chart for virtuals. My last buy was at around $1.18. Yeah, was it $1.18? Oh, actually, no, this is what I did. I kind of layered it in. I bought a little bit at $1.21, and then I bought some more at $1.18. And I had my stop loss at like $1.16 and a half, and it didn't get triggered. So that's interesting. I'm gonna have to probably move my stop losses to break even. Let me go ahead and do that. So this is what it's like trading on Mexi Exchange. I got my stop losses right here. I'm just gonna cancel all of that, right? And we're gonna just do a new stop loss and take profit. So stop loss is gonna be break even. My average entry price is $1.19, so we'll put $1.1978. So I'm not gonna lose any money if we do go down, because I'll just break even. And Jesus, what did I have my take profit at? Well, we'll just say $2 for now. But I gotta. Wow. Imagine that. Imagine if virtuals goes up to $2, I'll make $1,200 on this trade. That's nice, right? That'd be nice. But I don't think I'm gonna wait that long. I think what did I have virtuals? I think I had it at $1.40. I think. Yeah, if we could get back to where we were on Saturday, $1.40 would be nice. There is some moving average resistance at $1.26 and $1.27. I think realistically $1.26, $1.27 was where I was targeting. So let me go back here. I'll change that take profit to $1.27. See what that gives me. $1.27. All right, so that's more realistic. I'll make $116 here if it gets to $1.27. That's only 5 cents away. If I was to wait till $1.40, I could get $327 here on that trade. Interesting. And if I was trying to push it to $2, oh my God, that'd be a nice payday. I think I'm gonna keep it at $1.40 for now, because I plan on being in this trade going into tomorrow. We'll see if I actually hit $1.40 on virtuals. All right, but what do I want to get into for a trade? What are you guys trading today? Is there any trade worth getting into? My YouTube guys, Medina, Duali C, Chris Klein, you guys have any ideas here? So like, what's a good? Because I kind of want to go long on something tonight that might be moving. Or maybe I just put in a hedge short on Bitcoin in case Bitcoin drops on us. But I've been doing those hedge shorts and getting knocked out this past weekend, so I don't know if I want to do that again. I feel like we had a bad day today. So which one of these cryptos actually did really bad today? Kind of want to go. Let me go check out CoinMarketCap real quick. All right, who had a bad day in the top 100? Pepe had a bad day. So did Farcoin. Those might be worth getting into. Kronos had a bad day, so did Floki and Bonk. So the meme coins didn't do so good today. Alright. That's the narrative right now. I could look at let's take a look at Bonk and Farcoin. Bonk is near the 0.382 retracement at 2307, and you got a 50-day moving average that could provide support here. That could be worth getting into. Let's take a look at Farcoin real quick. Farcoin got rejected off the 200-day moving average. Could get support off the 21 EMA like it did here on Monday earlier today. Let me just quickly do a fib on that one. We got a 618 at 86 and 0.5 at 82, 0.382 at 79, and you already came down to 79. So I can put the stop loss below there. Try to target 618 at 86-87 cents here. And I could also target 90 cents maybe. Well, looking back at Bonk, I mean, Bonk has the 50-day, and it's above all the moving averages, so it is bullish. And it's got that 0.382. Farcoin, try to make some decisions here, guys. Farcoin is bearish because you're below the 200-day moving average, and it's been making lower highs since July. I'm leaning towards Bonk right now because Bonk is above the 200-day moving average and all the moving averages. Yeah, it did see some good days here in July, but I mean, there was a bottom here at the 0.236. You came close to the 200-day moving average, but you didn't really. I think there's just more stronger momentum in Bonk than there is Farcoin. I'm gonna try Bonk for a trade, guys. Here, I'm gonna try to go long on Bonk. I'm gonna put the stop loss below the 50-day moving average. Currently sitting at 22.75. Right now, Bonk is trading at 23.19. So let's do it. I'm gonna go into Bonk. Random user, how do I call a dump with fart and Bonk coin is your question? I'm not saying that they're gonna dump. I think if we're gonna be bullish going into tomorrow, I think these meme coins might have some room to run here. And I'm looking at Bonk right now, and I gotta now measure the long position here. Okay. If I was to buy right now, and I'm just gonna take this up to that next fib level at 25.99. That's 11% move on there. And I'm going to put my risk right below that 50-day moving average. I got a risk reward ratio of 4.79. Anything above 3 is good to see. That's great. And if I slap on 10x leverage, I'll be down 20%. But if I, slap on 10x leverage, then I could be up 110% on this move up. Usually, I think I've been playing around with 20x leverage, even on the meme coins here. So, yeah, let's look at it. We'll go on to Mexi here, and we'll look for Bonk, B-O-N-K. There's Bonk. I'm gonna go into the daily time frame. I want my stop loss to be, what do we say, below the 50 moving average. So like right now, the 50 moving average right now is a little bit different here on Mexi. The 50 moving average is actually above us right now at 23.60.14. 100 moving average is below us. What did I say? I said that 50 moving average, 2275. So maybe like 2200 or 2250. Somewhere in that area is where I put the stop loss. Get back onto Mexi. 2200. All right, 2200. So like somewhere around here. That keeps us below. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so now I gotta plan this out. So if I was to do a 20x leverage long market price, and I'll use do I do 5 or 10%? Well, let's see what if I did 10%. What is that gonna entail? 10% of the account, long take profit. We said 0.022 as a stop loss. Hey, what is that? What's my point? 0.22. Ooh, I'll lose 80 bucks. I don't want to do that. I need something either less leverage or less margin. Let me go back here, and I'm targeting about 25.89. All right, 0.022589. So I could make $192, but I'm risking 80 bucks. That's not good. If I just did 5% of the account, I could make 82 bucks, and I'm risking $33. What if I just did 10x leverage? $10x, oh man, that really takes away the profit. But profit's now 27 bucks, and you're risking $11. So I can make the stop loss even looser at like 0.02. But then my take profit ain't really gonna do much for me. What's the next level we could go to? We could go up to like 0.289 on Bach, or 0.29. But we haven't been at that level since July. No, I'm gonna have to do more leverage, yeah, to make this worthwhile for me. I'm gonna do a little bit more leverage and make the stop loss a little bit tighter. So let's go back to 20x leverage. And I'll have to just make the stop loss tighter. Let's see. Stop loss 0.02249 maybe? That was the low for this Monday. $2.249. I'm risking about $17.80. So in order for me to lose this trade, we basically have to go lower than what we did earlier today. I think that's going to be where the stop loss is going to have to go. So I'm still doing a 20x leverage long. I'm using 5% of the account. Margin, what is margin? Margin's at 34 bucks here. And I'm only going to lose $18 on that stop loss, which is, I normally plan on only losing $20 on a bad trade, on a trade that doesn't go my way. Because then I can just continue making more trades. But take profit, 0.028, I don't think that's possible. Because we haven't been there since July. I think we have to go back to, we could possibly go up to 0.026. So let me just readjust that to 26. So 87 bucks. So I'm risking $17 to try to make $87. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Only gonna lose $17 on the trade. Let me just see what the 5-minute time frame looks like. So you guys can see like my thought process of entering trades here. Sometimes it takes some time to figure things out. But this is how we figure it. So we're buying on a red candle. That's good to see. We're near the lows on the 5-minute time frame here. So I'm liking the entry so far. And then the stop loss is going to be 2249, which is down here, like way down here, like down like over here, right? 2249. Okay. So I don't know. I could even put the stop loss even tighter than that. But this is the 5-minute time frame. 1 hour time frame. 2249 or 224, maybe 2246. Yeah, 2246. Yeah, so I'm gonna lose about 19 bucks, which is what I normally plan on losing if I have a bad trade. So I think I like this. I like this right now. I think it's worth it. So stop loss 2249, or I'm sorry, 2246. Catching basically the low for today is where that stop loss is at, and then I'm trying to just get back up to here where we saw the highs here on September 13th. This past Saturday at 0.0227. So I'm buying here. I'm trying to sell here. All right, so let me go ahead and put that in. I'm gonna buy that right now. This is a live trade going in right now. 20x leverage long on Bonk right now, and I just decided to make that happen just now. There it is. I just bought some Bonk, leverage long, and here's the cool thing about Mexi. You can see your take profit and your stop loss. So there it is. Take profit 0.026, 0.026. I could push it higher because we did see 0.027 on Saturday, but I think this is a good area to just get out of the trade. And I'm buying right now near the lows, or what I perceive to be the lows. And I got my stop loss relatively tight. Looks like we came down to this this low at 12 o'clock this afternoon. So we basically have to come back to where we were near the lows of Monday afternoon in order for me to lose out on this trade. But yeah, that's me entering a long on Bonk. And just out of curiosity, let's see. I know I entered the trade like a few minutes ago, but are we up or down on the realized prop? We're up. We're up 1.8%. We're up 63 cents on that trade. But if this thing plays out in a good way for me, I could make 87 bucks on this trade, which is nice, right? Be a nice payday for tomorrow. 87 bucks on one trade. And if I'm wrong, I only lose $19. I'm okay with that. Okay, and then virtuals. Virtuals, I'm already in kind of like a free trade right now. I got my stop loss at break even at $1.19. And I'm trying to take profit at $1.40, but I'll make $300 on that trade. So if the trades go my way going into tomorrow, if we see virtuals get up to $1.40, I'll make 320 bucks. And then I'll make another 80 bucks here on Bonk for like a nice little $400 payday. I think anybody would love that big 400 bucks in one day, right? We'll see if that happens going into tomorrow. Ava Medina says, you like that I go over the live trade with the take profit and my stop losses at? Yeah, I mean, I have to do this this mental math when I get into trades here. And when I don't, and I skip over things or I don't plan things out, then I end up losing more than I plan on losing. I end up over trading, that sort of thing. And just, you really gotta pay attention to the risk management And I really like the risk management on this one because I'm only gonna lose $19 on Bonk, but I have the potential to make 87 bucks if we just get back to where we were on Saturday. Even if we just get back to like where we were here, what was it? Just back to where we were yesterday on Sunday. I think I could make like 50 or 60 bucks on that trade, right? Let's see. 0.025. Let me just go back to the take profit on Bonk here. If we did like 0.025, yeah, I'll still make like 57 bucks. But I think I can push it up to 0.026 and make 87 bucks. Alright, John316's in the chat. He says smash the like button if you guys haven't done so already. You're at work right now, long haul truck. Oh, you're a truck driver. Okay, cool. And Rich says lower leverage. That will pay for a couple of drinks with. Stop it, Rich. Rich is getting on my case about my my girls that I like to go out for drinks with. He thinks they're fake. He thinks they're AI. Let's see what John360 says. What did John360? John360 says big news for ZBCM, possible deal with a sports team and NHL for payroll. Oh, that is big news. John says hook you up. Alright, I don't want to get in too much trouble here, but let's see. So I was posting on Porky's. First of all, guys, check out the Meet Damien Discord if you haven't already. You can come join me on Discord. Link is in the description for the YouTube, and if for my TikTok guys, if you want to you know, come join the Discord, all you gotta do is just send me a message and I'll send you the link. But yeah, you guys, for my YouTube guys who are interested, I was on Porky Flounder's Discord, and somebody asked me on Discord. He says, "Damien, where's the Latinos? Where's your Latina girls?" And I had to show him a few pictures, and I said, "Which one?" Like, this is a video of one of the girls. This is my Costa Rican girl right here, who Rich thinks this is fake. He thinks this is all AI. This is artificial intelligence, according to Rich. And yeah, Rich is this guy right here, Sir Naptime on Discord. But I also I showed another video and another picture of me out with another girl. Oh man. And yeah, this is all stemmed from Baby Toshi saying, "Damien, we're the Latinos." I said, "Which one? This one or that one?" Oh god. All right. So yeah, then somebody said, what did they say? They said, you know, Damien out here being a real player, and then I just kind of like made a joke like, "Oh, throw your hands in the air if you're a true player." Oh man, I'm not gonna get any dates because it'll be like, "Oh, Damien just goes out on dates with all these girls and blah blah blah. He's not gonna take me serious." Oh, yeah, that kind of stuff. Anyways, yeah, I like to have fun and go on dates. That's what I do. Yeah. A little bit of my personal life right there. Bonk. We'll go back to Bonk. Bonk, I think, is a worth getting into for a leverage long, because I think you can play this. You know, I got 20x leverage long. I already measured the long. The risk reward ratio is 4.79. If we can just get back up to where we were on Saturday on Bonk, and I put the stop loss, you know, at like, actually I put it tighter than this there, but I think there's a good risk reward ratio on Bonk, and some of these other meme coins are probably showing the same thing too. I just think Bonk is worth getting into because you're above the moving averages and you're above the 50-day moving average, so that's good to see. You haven't lost that yet, so I think Bonk is strong enough to try to compete to go to higher prices here. But yeah, let me go back to Bonk. If I did lose out, what is the percentage loss? So yeah, I could, with 20x leverage, I could lose 55% and lose 19 bucks. But with 20x leverage, I could be up $87 and be up 250%. Nice. I think it's worth it. But I think we're getting close to the end of this live stream. I see some guys coming in and out of my TikTok live stream. Do we have any more requests? I see. Chris Klein is asking me, what are my thoughts on the Dino coins like Dot, Poly, Sand, Mana? Also, when do you think GameFi is going to make its run? And you know it sounds crazy saying this, but when will NFTs run? I don't know. NFTs is interesting. I think NFTs have their place when it comes to GameFi and video games. I think you'll see people putting NFTs up for you know, like player skins, like when you want to change a character or earn a trophy or whatever in a video game, you can make it an NFT and it will stay forever, and then you could try to trade it to someone else that might want it and make some money off of that. They gotta do more marketing about that, and they need to actually, I think if they did NFTs with like a popular game like Call of Duty, that would be big, you know. One of those big video games, if they started doing NFTs, that would probably get more people involved with NFTs, in my opinion. And then as far as like those Dino coins, I think Dot could still be a winner. Sand and Mana, those are also some good ones as well. What is Sand doing? Let's see what Sandbox, Sand USD. What does that look like on the charts here? I haven't even looked at these in a while. Oh yeah, looks like it had a little bit of an altcoins run in 2024. The end of 2024, it got up to like $1. But now this thing's trading at 29 cents, so you had a 70% haircut. Oof. Now, of course, this thing has been at higher prices in 2022 and I think 2021 as well. But you are above the 2-day moving average, so that's good to see. And you can put your probably stop loss right here at like 25 cents if you're spot trading this. And if you lose that, then you know you're not losing too much, and you might just have to wait. Maybe get a better entry on Sandbox here, but I like where Sandbox is right now, just above the moving averages. Now you just want to get a higher high than what you did here in July. Get above 35 cents, and it might be game on for Sandbox here. No pun intended. And then Mana, let's see what Mana's doing. Or Decentraland. Ooh, I don't know if I like that chart. Let's see what it looks like here on Kraken maybe. Alright, better candles here. Okay. So even Mana is getting above the moving averages. And it has made higher lows recently compared to what it did in June. And you actually made a higher high than July, so that's also good to see too. You're making the beginning of an uptrend here, and you're above the moving averages. I don't know, Mana might be worth getting into if you want to get into GameFi. And then of course it has seen better days here in December. just like a lot of other altcoins, and also back here in March of 2024. But this thing had even better days when it first came out, back in like 2021, 2022. Let's see, 2022 or November, December of 2021. This thing was up as high as like $5. I don't know if we're ever gonna get back to those levels again. But you could be buying like near the bottom here. And if we get a little altcoin season run and people start getting excited about the metaverse and Decentraland and GameFi, I mean, this one could maybe run up to like what it did here in 2024 when you saw this thing as high as like 66 cents, 78 cents. So you could get a double on this one. But I think you can get a double on almost all altcoins out there, even XRP. For the XRP haters out there, I think XRP could get up to like $6. So you just gotta pick which one you think is worth getting into, and if Decentraland piques your interest, then sure, you could take a chance on it. But just keep in mind that Decentraland might double in price, just like Solana, and like I think Solana is probably going to double in price first because it's more well known, and the big boys are trying to buy into it. Are the big boys trying to buy into Decentraland? Is there a Decentraland ETF coming out or a decision being made? No. But also it's a low market cap coin, so it doesn't really take much money to start moving this thing up to higher prices. So it's all which one you want to pick. But I'm sticking myself, like my biggest bags are Solana and Sui. And then I got some XRP as well and some other coins. But I think Solana and Sui, because they're the fastest and cheapest coins, and Solana has staking, you can earn money while you're waiting for it to go up to higher prices. I think Solana is worth getting into, even though it's at 234. Porky's doing a pumpkin only stream. No, can you send me the link? Maybe I can come join. Actually, Rich, can you send me the link on Discord? In my Discord channel? On the Meet Damien Discord channel. That'd be great. Great place for you to share the link. And then I can come join it. Alrighty. Gracias, amigo. And let's see. Chris Klein says, thank you. You're welcome, Chris. You're welcome. Yeah, I think gaming, your best and safest bet is still, I think, AVAX. But if you want to get into those other coins, I think they're also in. I think Mana is looking good right now. And what do we say? Sandbox. Sandbox also look pretty good too. I think Mana just looks a little bit better. But yeah, you just spread your bets, and then I think AVAX is going to be the gaming coin out of the high market cap coins. And even AVAX is looking good too. Above all the moving averages, clearly bullish. Is it overbought? Not right now, but I think it was overbought this weekend. Yeah, at like 70 on the RSI. But I think AVAX is going to be your gaming coin for the big boys. Like, I think Wall Street will try to buy AVAX Avalanche, and that's also affiliated a little bit with GameFi. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it. I'm going to try to catch Road Dog Crypto's live stream, and also Porky if I can get set up with a pumpkin account here. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. We'll take a look at the Road Dog's live stream. I kind of wish I knew how to port you guys over to Road Dog Crypto's channel. His live stream. It is what do we got here? Is his live coming up soon? He does have an upcoming live stream. How do I port you guys over though? I'm gonna have to talk to Trade Intuition about how he able to move people from his live stream to another person's live stream, because I would like to do that for Road Dogg right now if I could. But his stream is not coming on until 12 minutes from now anyways. He usually goes live at 10:30. It's a setting on YouTube Studio? Okay. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. Yeah. Are we gonna talk about the aliens and UFOs? Or are we gonna talk about the Latinas, or are we gonna talk about both? Rich. Well, let me just finish up my thoughts here on Bitcoin. I am waiting for Bitcoin to prove that it has the athleticism of a varsity athlete to push us up to higher prices here. I want to see Bitcoin get up to 117,400 to feel better about Bitcoin going to higher prices. The longer we stay below it, the more pessimistic I become that we're creating a lower high here, and that we might have to go down to lower prices again. And we might see 109 for Bitcoin, 109k Bitcoin, or even 112,700 all over again. And 112.7k could happen like tomorrow. Just saying. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's live stream here, guys. I think we're all waiting, and we're probably not gonna be done waiting until we get the decision on Wednesday. But check out my my live stream tomorrow. We'll talk about what the cryptocurrencies are doing. We'll take a look at stocks if you guys want to talk about stocks as well. But yeah, tomorrow afternoon, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time is when I'll go live. And then Wednesday, I'll probably try to go live and stay live during the FOMC meeting. See what they do with the interest rates on Wednesday. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Take care and good luck trading in whatever asset you decide to get involved in. Take care, guys. Rich thinks we're going to go down to 112k possibly. Okay, yeah, that could be a possibility. Alright, yeah, Rich, I'm going to go make my Pumpkin account since you mentioned it. Thank you for sending me the link. And you said you messaged it to me? I think I see your message. Yeah, alright. Let's turn the music up. Let's go, let's go.